Excuse me, Father.
Pardon?
Do you mind if I ask you a few questions?
Not at all, monsieur. It will be my pleasure to help you.
What do you know about the Knights Templar?
You have come to the right place, if that is your interest. Many of them were executed in the square outside. It was a disgrace to France.
Well, the Pope was right behind it, though.
Clement V was a man of mammon, not of God.
That's kind of forthright for a priest, isn't it?
You think so? It is hard to be sure what happened. It is so long ago.
How long have you worked here?
Hardly work, monsieur. This is a calling. I have been helping Father Flambert for nearly 6 months now.
I guess you don't know much about the history of this church, then.
Just a little.
You've got quite a shine on that candlestick.
Ah oui. Anything less than best would be an insult to the Almighty.
I guess so. I never thought of it like that. What do you make of this chalice?
It certainly looks very old.
About as old as this church, I think.
There seems to be an engraving on it.
Yeah? What does it say?
I do not know. It is very tarnished. With your permission, I could try polishing it. I promise I will be very careful.
That'd be very good of you.
This shouldn't take very long. Feel free to look around.
Okay, thanks.
Buenas noches a todos, saluditos a Carlos y Gatorán, los primeros en llegar, y también al buen Mau. Espero se la pasen muy bien por acá. Hoy terminamos Broken Sword, la sombra de los templarios, un juego que de corazón me ha enamorado. Espero que les guste el gran cierre porque es la verdad una historia con mucho encanto.
I didn't recognize the biblical story in it. I was a Sunday school dropout.
Carlos Orlando, ¿cómo estás? Buenas noches.
The statue had any secrets. It was concealing them pretty well.
Bienvenidos a el cierre ya de Broken Sword, ya lo último. Espero que les va a gustar lo que va a pasar aquí. Un segundito que me está dando problemas esto. Saludos al buen Sando, ¿cómo estás?
The statue had any secrets.
Un segundo porque me está dando rollo esto. El acertijo está aquí, es muy fácil, pero me está poniendo bien roñoso.
Biblical references engraved into the tomb edge to guide his way to the next world. I guess. Just think, there's a dead guy under there. I didn't have time to sit around. A row of old pews, beautifully carved and glowing with polish. I thought of all the people who must have sat here over the decades. All those Parisian derrieres, firm buttocks of the young ladies, the flabby flesh of the old men. That wasn't a pleasing image, so I went back to the young ladies. Whoa!
Bien, seguimos aquí con este rollo.
In comparison to its neighbor, it looked pretty plain. A huge arched window. Somehow it looked more modern than its neighbor.
Me encuentro bien, estamos aquí continuando la locura de este juego. Que la verdad está bastante bueno, solo que no entiendo por qué me está dando problemas el acertijo.
I wondered if this guy had died in combat.
Entonces por acá, a la derecha número 4, lo 95. No, tanto así. Pero es aquí con esta estatua.
The statue had any secrets? A statue of a knight holding a staff and a scroll.
Ahora sí, ya salió.
Per disciplinum meum lux videbis. A bit of a stained glass window. Wow! Hoping for a big insight while squinting through a hunk of statuary had been pretty optimistic, I guess.
¿Viene con esto ya funcionando?
The lens fitted into the end of the scroll like a hand into a glove. Hey! A Knight Templar burning at the stake, and a date. Let me see. MCCC That's 1314.
Antes de continuar, yo quiero agradecer por aquí unas estrellitas, pequeño aporte de buen Sando. Como siempre se promete un verso por esa ayudita en esta aventura que se termina. El secreto de los templarios que muchas vidas arruina. ¿Será que la espada será el arma temida?
Hello again, Father. Hey, thanks.
It is my pleasure, monsieur.
What was the writing on the chalice?
It was not writing, my mistake. It was a coat of arms. The remarkable thing is that it seems very familiar.
Yeah?
Oui, I think I have seen it on that wall tomb in the far corner. That winged horse is quite distinctive.
I noticed that the stained glass window on the left looks more modern than the middle one.
You have a keen eye, monsieur. The original window was destroyed in the last war. It was as old as the church, early 14th century.
Oh, man, that's awful.
Oui, a terrible loss. Still, the church and the other windows survived.
Is the right-hand window original?
Oui, monsieur.
Did you know that the center window conceals an image of a man burning at the stake?
The burning man?
What, you knew?
That there was a hidden image? No. But the church has a reputation for being haunted. Many times, people have claimed to have seen a burning man in the window. But when others they look, there is nothing. Perhaps the light has to be just so for the figure to appear.
Yeah, or maybe you need a special lens. You must be proud to have such an incredible collection of stained glass.
Pride is a sin, monsieur. But it is hard not to marvel when the light shines through them. It is a fine example of the artisan's genius.
Catch you later.
Au revoir, monsieur.
Ya saben, chicos, siempre es un gusto, un placer. Se agradece el clipcito. Y el verso, como siempre, va con cariño. Saludos a Ferdi que viene llegando. Vamos a terminar el acertijo de aquí. Ya que nos indican dónde está el blasón. Con eso queda cerrado el asunto del caballero Don Carlos.
Now that my attention had been drawn to it, there was no mistake. There was no name on it. But the coat of arms was undeniably the Pegasus of the de Vasconcelos family. I'd found the last resting place of Don Carlos. My eye was drawn to the biblical references carved into the edge of the tomb. Hey, maybe these biblical references mean something. Psalms 32:7, John 4:11, Corinthians 1:4-5, and just one more, Psalms 22:21. I may not be perfect, but I've got a memory like a steel trap. The Chalice had led me to these inscriptions, but it looked like a happy coincidence to me. After all, the de Vasconcellos arms were already on the manuscript. Nope, I was still convinced that the Chalice had some significance all of its own.
Y con esos datos nos podemos ir de aquí. Por acá iré por unas palomitas de maíz para ver el directo. Hasta el final, ya se acaba hoy el juego. Y te va a encantar porque tiene unos giros bastante especiales. Si te gustan esas novelas tipo Código Da Vinci, pues Broken Sword es lo más cercano a eso. Y la verdad es bastante encantador. El siguiente paso es visitar el museo para que nos rolen unos datos de importancia.
Hi, Andre.
Hello, Georgie. Where have you been? Nicole said you were away.
I just returned from Syria.
Syria? On the trail of the Templars?
It's a long story, but I found the bull's head. It was referred to on the manuscript, remember?
Yes. What is it?
A secret cave built into a high cliff face. In the cave, I discovered a map bearing a phrase in Latin. In occidenta cita est in ora mundi.
The island of Britain.
Lies at the edge of the world, to the west.
Strange. That map seems to contain a series of pointers.
Like I said, it's a treasure map. While I was in Syria, I discovered a strange pagan statue. It was like a head with 3 bearded faces. Horrible.
That sounds as if it could be Baphomet, the idol described by the Templars.
The poor Knights of Christ had an idol that looked like that?
Allegedly. The description of the idol came from the evidence extracted by the Inquisition. Mind you, not one statue or idol was ever found on Templar property. Until now, that is. Just last month, a statue of Baphomet was unearthed right here in Paris.
Where?
At the Institut Hermétique de Naval. The statue is beneath the foundations. It was discovered by some workmen while renovating the building.
Can you tell me any more about the statue of Baphomet?
It's a fearful image, even now. A bearded head. The base of the statue is carved with Templar symbols. One of the workmen noticed a curious stain at the base. He claimed it looked like blood.
Blood?
That's right.
What do you make of this cup, Andre?
It's a 14th century communion vessel. Spanish, probably.
You sure know your onions. Thanks for your help, Andre.
You're welcome.
Saludos para Ricardo, ¿cómo estás? Buenas noches, bienvenido. Estamos dando cierre a esta aventura, espero que te guste. Por acá, abrazo a la distancia, voy a ver el directo. Por acá llegué por unas palomitas de bolsita a ver el final, ñaca ñaca. Pues adelante, dense gusto porque hoy terminamos. Ya después, si quieren, les muestro otro juego de esta especie, un poco más cotorro. Pero le daremos algo de tiempo, ya que este tipo de historias se disfrutan cuando llegan de vez en cuando. Bien, este es el siguiente paso, visitar el sitio de Baphomet. Aquí es donde está el lugar que ocupamos utilizar el cáliz. No va a ser tan fácil como parece.
A thermostat was mounted over a radiator. The radiator was pumping out heat as the thermostat was cranked right over to full. No wonder it was warm in here, even with the door open to the chill of fall. A guard stood by a door I guessed led to the excavation. He looked pretty pompous. Well, not so much pretty, just pompous. That guard had been put here to guard something. My guess was that the excavation was behind that door. I didn't think that the guard would just let me waltz past. Besides, I had a hunch that door was locked. There was a closed door with toilet scratched into the cheap veneer.
¿Cómo estás, Ricardo? ¿Qué cuentas? Anda igual, todos los presentes. Platíquenme. ¿Qué hay de nuevo en lo que vemos al final?
There was a closed door with toilet scratched into the cheap veneer.
That door is locked, monsieur.
Hi? Excuse me?
Oui?
So, what exactly are you doing here?
I'm guarding. You expect to find me shearing sheep?
Take it easy. I just didn't realize you were a guard. I'd like to know what you're guarding, please.
That's a secret.
It wouldn't happen to be an archaeological site, would it?
Are you asking me or telling me?
I'm telling you.
Then why ask?
I had a feeling this was no normal hole in the ground. It sure is hot in here.
I have to have the door open to allow the workmen access, so why not? I turn the heat up.
You could wrap up warm.
I have my gloves if it gets cold, but why bother when it's warm anyway?
Trying to get into a locked washroom. I had the strongest feeling of déjà vu. I'd like to use the washroom, but the door's locked.
Oh, that's no problem. You can have the key.
Thanks. Talk to you later.
Au revoir, monsieur.
Saludos al buen Capi. Camón, ¿cómo estás? Y por acá, ¿cómo andas? Hablando de contrabando en el trabajo. Gracias por pasarte. Te agradece, pero también ten cuidado, porfa. No quiero que después, por andar de visita, te quiten tu trabajo.
A filthy wash basin hung on the wall. I made an impression of the big key and the cake of soap. I carefully sprinkled the plaster into the soap mold I'd made of the key. Well, it had taken a while, but I had made myself a completely unconvincing plaster key, way too fragile to use in a lock. I'd have to substitute it for the real one. Trouble was, it looked like plaster and not metal. Then again, that plaster statue in Syria hadn't looked like stone until I'd been a bit artful with it. Maybe I could improve the key as well.
What is it?
Here's the keys. Thanks.
Merci, monsieur.
Para hacer que se confunda la llave hay que hacer un pequeño esfuerzo aquí con el bote de pintura. Y ahorita les muestro cómo se saca esto rápido.
Hey, monsieur, get away from my paint pot.
Okay.
I should think so. Meddling with a man's paint pot. Puh.
Excuse me, could you help me?
What is it?
I've got a few questions. You're doing a fine job.
Merci. I have my professional pride.
I don't think I've ever seen a Gauloise smoke so stylishly.
It's a natural talent.
I'm being sarcastic.
I'm being indifferent.
You're very good at that as well.
Merci. Vive l'indifférence.
So, what are you doing here?
I am having my break.
Yeah, I mean when you finish your break.
Puh, when I finish my break, an interesting concept, monsieur.
You'll probably need to think about it.
I could have another cigarette while I consider. Perhaps tomorrow too?
Okay, let me put things differently. What were you hired to do here?
I was hired to keep the archaeological dig in the basement of this building clear of debris, and to touch up damage to the door frames with my little pot of paint. It's a very responsible job. Unfortunately, I'm not a very responsible person.
So what do you know about the excavation?
I know they won't let me in to do my job. I would complain to my union, but là...
You couldn't be bothered to join.
Right. Tell you what, though. I'm surprised at the sort of people interested in this excavation.
What's unusual about the visitors to the excavation?
None of them look like archaeologists to me.
Do you know what an archaeologist looks like?
Three-piece suits, crocodile-eyed attaché cases, Rolex oyster.
But no archaeologist dresses like that.
Quite right, monsieur, quite right.
So, who are they?
Who cares as long as they pay me?
Be seeing you.
Au revoir, monsieur.
Y lo tienen. No son arqueólogos los interesados. ¿Quién más podría ser? Quizás en el segundo directo que hicimos sean los sujetos a los que menciona este caballero. Pero para poder tomar la pintura vamos a necesitar ayuda de nuestra querida Nico. Y como dice Sando, la vieja
Do you mind if I
confiable.
use the phone?
Be my guest. I'm paid to guard this door. The phone can look after itself.
Hi, Nico?
Georges, what have you discovered?
Nothing yet.
Nothing. Is something wrong?
No.
Georges, why are you calling me?
Oh, no reason. I just wanted to hear your voice.
You did. Well, this is my voice saying, don't bother me, I'm busy.
Oh. Hi again.
What is it?
I need to use the toilet again.
Again? Already?
I have this problem. How technical do you want me to get?
Never mind. Here's the key.
Talk to you later.
Au revoir, monsieur.
Hi again.
What is it?
What do you know about the Knights Templar? There was a long pause during which the guard said nothing. Then he said,
Nothing.
Nothing at all?
Is this a test?
What, like a history pop test?
No, like a test.
Okay, yes, it's a test.
Then I know absolutely nothing about the Templars.
The guard was being amazingly evasive. It was going to take more than goodwill to get past him. Talk to you later.
Au revoir, monsieur.
Hello, Nico. It's me.
What do you want?
Some ideas.
You're the man on the spot, Georges. I can't hold your hand all of the time. Au revoir.
I wouldn't mind if you held it at least some of the time.
What is it?
Here's the keys. Thanks.
Merci, monsieur.
Como casi no hablamos con Nico, pues activé las dos cinemáticas, pero ahora sí vamos de lleno con esto. Vamos a hacer el engaño para poder echar la llave.
Gunmetal paint. Interesting.
Hey, monsieur! Get away from my paint pot!
Okay.
I should think so. Meddling with a man's paint pot. Puh.
Lo que queremos es hacer esto. Ahorita no se puede.
Hey!
Okay.
I should think...
Ok, ya con esto deberíamos de poder hacer el resto de la pintura.
Killer!
Hi, Nico. It's me. I'm at the excavation site.
Hi, Georges. What's happening?
I'm at the excavation, but they won't let me in.
Damn! We need to know what's in there.
Don't worry. I've got a scheme. I'm going to need your help, though.
Okay, what do you want me to do?
I want you to keep somebody on the phone for a while.
Who?
A painter. I need to get at his pot.
Oh, okay.
Stay on the line. I'll go and get him. Hi, it's me again.
What now?
You've got a phone call.
For me? Are you certain?
It's a woman. She sounded hot.
What woman? She must be mistaken, monsieur.
Well, she asked for that hunk of a man with the nicotine fingers in his ass hanging out of his pants.
Certainly sounds like me. Stand back. It wouldn't do to keep the lady from her hunk. Well, monsieur, what a strange woman. She was all over me, and then suddenly, nothing but abuse.
Really?
Why, abuse? Ah well, I have a cigarette to finish. And monsieur, if she calls again, I am not available.
I turned the heating off. Hi again.
What is it?
I need to use the toilet again.
Again? Already?
I have this problem. How technical do you want me to get?
Never mind. Here's the key.
Talk to you later.
Au revoir, monsieur.
Saludos Alteco, ¿cómo estás? Bonita noche. Qué gusto verte por acá. Espero que te la pases muy bien aquí. Estamos con el cierre de Broken World, la sombra de los templarios. Que casi puede parecer una bonita novela gráfica detectivesca que creo que te puede gustar. Y por acá el gato van abusadora.
I swapped the fake key for the real thing.
Pero ahí va. Siguiente parte del plan. Para poder hacer que esto funcione, tenemos que entregar la llave falsa.
What is it?
I held my breath and hoped that he wouldn't notice the substitution. Here's the keys. Thanks.
Merci, monsieur.
Y un agradecimiento teco por esas estrellotas. Así que vamos a echar un versito para esta parte que casi cierra la aventura. El cáliz vamos a emplear. Un secreto nos va a revelar. A este guardia lo debemos de pasar. Y si hace falta, a Nico volveremos a utilizar.
Hi, Nico. It's me again.
I'd guessed. What do you want this time?
What did you say to the painter?
I shan't repeat it, George.
Look, I need to get the guard out of the way. Could you call back and ask him to get the painter again?
Okay, I'll call back soon.
This looked like a good place to watch things develop.
Hey, you! It's the phone.
Yeah? Who is it?
How should I know? What am I, your social secretary?
It's not a chick, is it?
Yes, it's a woman. Are you going to answer it?
Does she have a warm, sensual voice like molten chocolate?
Yes, she has a really sexy voice. Now get a move on.
I'm not talking to her.
I can see that. You're wasting time talking to me.
No, you don't understand. I refuse to talk to her.
You refuse. You refuse. I'm wasting valuable time.
Don't make me laugh. Your time valuable? You just stand around all day.
I have a highly responsible job. Pah, don't pah me, you elephantine oaf. My job is important.
Impossible. They would have hired somebody competent in that case.
Meaning what?
Instead of which they hired a dismal rent-a-cop like you. All epaulettes and no brains.
Why, you...
This looked set to carry on for some time. It was too good an opportunity to miss.
Y así es como logramos entrar al sitio. El resto es bastante sencillo. Solo es utilizar el cáliz y con eso tendremos terminado el sitio de Baphomet.
Now there's a familiar face. There was no doubt about it. It was the same sort of idol I'd seen in Syria, Baphomet. The Templars had certainly been through here.
La pieza final es esto.
And there it was, decoded by the curves of the chalice. The image of a church. I found out what the chalice was for.
You solved the puzzle?
Yeah, there was a distorted picture at the Baphomet site. When I viewed it in the polished surface of the chalice, it changed.
What did it show?
A picture of a church with a square tower. Look at the chalice now, Nico.
What happened? It's shiny.
The priest at Montfaucon buffed it up for me.
That's incredible.
Yeah, looks as good as new.
No. You found a use for a priest. That's incredible.
I guess I'd better return the chalice to the Countess.
Hurry back, Georges.
I'd been planning to return the chalice anyway, but I hadn't expected the trail to bring me here. The Villa de Vasconcelos was as picturesque as ever. The weather was still clear, and Lopez was still watering the damn lawn. I was beginning to suspect that he was surgically attached to that hose. Hi there, Lopez. How's tricks?
Senor Stobbart, how pleasant to see you. You are well.
Fine, thanks. Is the Countess in?
She is waiting for you. I will show you up.
It's okay, I know the way.
Senor Stobbart, I feel I owe you an apology.
No, you don't.
I was impolite on our first meeting.
Look, okay, just forget about it. I came on like a snake oil merchant. I wouldn't have trusted me in your shoes.
You do not understand. Finding the chalice has given my lady a new lease of life. It's a marvel. She smiles, she laughs. The tradesmen are saying that she is on Prozac.
Imagínate que por devolverle la alegría a tu abuelita le digan que está tomando drogas duras como el Prozac. Qué mala onda. Lo bueno es que ahora nos reciben con los brazos abiertos y podemos terminar el misterio de los Vasconcelos. Gatován, qué cambio de actitud. Pues imagínate, años de fatalidad y que ahora esté de buenas, te pisa cabeza. Eso es como que sospechoso, ¿no?
Senor Stobbart. Oh, what a pleasure. Please, sit down.
Hi, Countess. The pleasure's all mine. I've brought back your chalice.
Why? You've had it cleaned.
Yeah, I met an obliging priest with a soft cloth.
Have you resolved the Templar mystery?
No, not yet. I don't even know what it is I'm after.
There are many stories of the knights secreting great wealth away.
Whatever. All I know is I don't want the bad guys to get it.
To be young and live in a world of moral absolutes.
I discovered something amazing with that chalice. In Paris, I found a church where they recognized the coat of arms. I found the tomb of Don Carlos de Vasconcelos.
You are sure? There can be no mistake?
The coat of arms on the chalice matches the one on the tomb.
Incredible. You have my most profound thanks. I must go there as soon as possible.
Yeah? Well, I'd be happy to show you the city. There's something else that I discovered carved on Don Carlos's tomb. Biblical references.
What are the references, Senor Stobbart?
Psalms 32:7, Corinthians.
I am not a good enough scholar to know the Bible chapter and verse. I meant, what are the quotations?
You know, I forgot to ask the priest. I'll have a look around if that's okay.
My home is your home. I shall remain here.
Bueno, ya con esto queda resuelto una parte.
It was just a little utility room with no exit, unless you counted the window, and I didn't.
Pienso terminar de resolver esto de una buena vez. Y por aquí, sin duda se fuma algo. Pues toma en cuenta que la señora sentía que ya su destino había llegado a su fin. Que su familia había sido ultrajada de muchas formas. Y que de repente te den un nativo de luz diciendo que en realidad no te abandonaron. Creo que eso puede ser una gran diferencia, ¿no creen? Hasta el más amargo se alegraría. Esta parte, créanme, no es muy difícil. Lo primero que hay que tomar es la Biblia. Y resolver un pequeño detalle aquí. Esto no salió como quería. Ahora sí, lo que tenemos que hacer es que la punta de esta cosa se encienda con esta vela. Y ahora sí, rápidamente, resolver esto.
The candle had burnt brilliantly, but only for a couple of minutes. Some kind of special formulation, I guess. And had yielded up this. A complex shape expertly cut in stone. I figured it was some kind of key.
El cirio escondía un pequeño secreto que ahorita veremos cómo funciona. No te preocupes, no vamos a resolverlo, no hay peligro. Ya verás, ya verás. Vale totalmente la pena. Siempre gracias por las compartidas, likes y follow, su cariño. Los apoyitos sirven para hacer crecer este espacio chiquito. El siguiente paso es revelar las citas bíblicas, ahora que ya tenemos el secreto del cirio.
Hello again. Here's the Bible from the mausoleum.
Very well. Let us begin. The first reference.
Psalms 32:7.
Thou art my hiding place. Thou shalt preserve me from trouble. Thou shalt compass me about with songs of deliverance. My hiding place.
Don't get your hopes up too high. This might just be leading us to where we found the chalice.
You are right, of course. The next.
Okay, John 4:11.
John 4:11. Here. The well is deep. The next. Quickly.
Okay. Corinthians 4:5.
Here it is. Will bring to light the hidden things. Any more?
Just one. Psalms again. 22:21.
Save me from the lion's mouth, for thou hast heard me from the horns of the unicorns. The last is confusing. Lions, unicorns, what's it mean?
I can't guess.
Salient points seem to be a hiding place and a deep well. In no sense is the mausoleum a well, Senor Stobbart.
Is there a well in the grounds?
I do not know. I suppose that there must have been once upon a time. Lopez is the man to ask about anything pertaining to the estate.
I'll just have another look around.
Very well.
Hi, Lopez. Got a minute?
Certainly, senor. How can I help you?
So the Countess feels that the curse is lifted.
I would not put it so strongly. Your discovery of the chalice was proof that the Templars never abandoned the de Vasconcelos. It counts for a great deal with my lady.
What's the story behind the Chalice Vanishing?
When the Inquisition raided, in the absence of Don Carlos, it was believed that they had taken it. Naturally, they denied the charge as they denied taking the children. And naturally, nobody believed them.
But they were telling the truth. The chalice was hidden from them. You don't suppose they were telling the truth about the children as well, do you?
Madre de Dios! I had not thought of that. But then what happened to them?
I don't know. If the Inquisition didn't take them, then who did?
You must speak to my lady of these.
Count on it. You must know just about everything that there is to know about this place.
See, I have lived my whole life here in the service of the de Vasconcelos.
Do you know of a well anywhere around here?
A well? Si, senor. This used to be a fortified villa. How can you last a siege without water?
Great! So where is it?
How should I know? The well was covered over in the last century. It was dangerous, you see.
And you have no idea where it was?
None. It was hidden even before my grandfather's time.
You must have a vague idea of where the well is.
It must have been in the old house's courtyard, so that would put it around here.
Here? Okay. Now, how do we find it?
There might be a way. Let me think about it.
Any ideas yet?
We are looking for a source of water, see?
Yes.
For generations, The Spanish country folk have had a secret way of locating water, even if it is meters beneath the ground.
Ah, you're not talking about water dousing, are you?
Eh?
You know, you get a stick and walk around until the stick twitches and dig there.
Oh, you've heard of it.
Yeah, I think most of the planet has. Okay, let's get a stick.
Uno momento. It must be a special stick, a Y of hazel.
Right. Do you have any hazel trees?
See, here. That is hazel.
Catch you later, Lopez.
Adios, Señor Stobbart.
Ven por acá. Póngale que estoy haciendo durar las palomitas. Lábar en forma de Y, la vieja confiable. Pues para los que vieron las caricaturas de los 90 van a saber a qué nos referimos.
It looked a lot like a hazel tree.
Y esta varita que buscamos está aquí. Y créanme, es una reverenda tontería lo que me pasa ahorita.
I went over to find a suitable stick. Aha!
Ahí está nuestra varita. Solo nos queda hablar con López y mostrarle la varita sin albur. Y con eso proseguimos con el desastre.
Hi, Lopez. Got a minute?
Certainly, senor. How can I help you?
Well, I got my divining rod. Now what?
Simplicity itself, senor. Hold the wand at the upper ends of the Y. Apply a little tension with your wrists so that the slightest movement of the wand's tip is clear, and walk slowly and steadily over the area.
Sounds easy enough. We'll find this well in no time.
Senor Stobbart, you've found something.
This is it. This is where we find the secret of the Templars. Hidden here for hundreds of years. Lost from the sight of man until now. The mystery is revealed.
It's a tin can.
I've been walking up and down with a twig in my hands, looking for a tin can.
It had water in it. That's what the dowsing stick must have detected.
I'd have to check with an archaeologist, but I don't think the Templars left that.
In truth, Senor Stobbart, the lawn was laid many, many years ago. This can could date back to the Napoleonic Wars.
Get rid of it and I'll try it again. Lopez threw the can away. It seemed to fall an awfully long way. The splash at the end confirmed what we both suspected. Well, I'll be a monkey's uncle.
It has been here all the time. All those years and nobody found it.
Stood in awe for a moment, marveling at the secrets all around us.
I could have fallen down that.
The well had been lost for decades at least. The air was cool after the noon sun, but that's not what gave me goosebumps. I have a really, really bad feeling about this.
Bien, es hora de resolver lo último de España. Esta es la parte final. No tiene mucho pierde realmente. Así que vamos a resolver esto de una buena vez. Dice, no hay templarios en América. No se sabe. Digo, puede ser que sí, puede ser que no. Por acá dale el viejito López. No. Miren, esto se resuelve así.
A great stone lion's head with a gaping maw full of fangs. As far as I knew, nobody had cast eyes upon it for centuries as it stood, waiting in the cool shadows. The words of the psalm kept running through my head, "Save me from the lion's mouth." From a distance, the lion's head had been impressive. Close up, it was frightening. Hey, one of the fangs is a separate piece.
Usamos lo que estaba en el Sirio. Un segundito que me está dando problemas. Esto no tendría que ser así. Ahí va.
I could hear the sound of a lot of stone moving, and I knew I was in danger. Oh, very funny, you psychos!
Signor Stobbart! Signor Stobbart! Are you all right?
It's okay, Lopez, I'm fine!
Que susto me has dado! You gave me a scare!
Nice try, Templars.
Saludos, Raúl. ¿Qué dices de las cruces? Nada que ver. Muy diferente del asunto de la cruz de los templarios. Ahí es una pequeña confusión que la verdad para mí no cuadra. Pero entiendo por qué lo dices. Sí, Sando, mi abuelito toma un vino llamado templario. ¿Qué pasa?
There, in the middle of the door, I could see some kind of socket. It looked like this wasn't quite the dead end it had seemed. Open sesame! Another secret door! Before I left, though, there was one last thing to do. You won't be needing that replacement piece anymore, Countess. I found it with the children. You'll probably want to be alone for a while. I'll be out in the garden with Lopez.
George, welcome back.
Come in, Josh. It's good to see you again.
Is it?
Sure. What did you find in Spain?
Without Andre, we wouldn't have got this far, George.
Yeah, I know. The clues led to an underground chamber at the bottom of a well. The Templars had left a tapestry showing a chessboard. The white pieces were vastly outnumbered. There was a stream running across the board, and a Templar knight on a horse.
Does it mean anything to you, André?
No, nothing.
Maybe we should tell André what else you found, George.
There's a map and a Latin inscription to the west at the edge of the world.
George found that in a cave in Syria.
Yeah, where the assassin almost killed me.
Then we've got the burning of Jacques de Molay and the date, 1314.
From the window of the church in Montfaucon Square, one of the few places where nobody tried to kill me.
Then we have the image of a church that George found at the excavation. I don't recall anyone trying to kill you there either, George.
And finally we have the tapestry in Spain. Did I mention I almost got killed there?
Not yet, but I'm sure you're about to.
It was only my cat-like reflexes that saved me from certain death.
Cat-like reflexes, eh?
And while I was risking life and limb, where were you, André? Getting your glasses fogged up over an Etruscan vase?
That's enough, boys. Can we get back to saving the world?
Of course. My apologies.
He started it.
Well, the Latin phrase are the words of Julius Caesar. He was describing the island of Britain.
Are you sure? The map didn't look much like Britain.
How come Caesar described Britain as being at the edge of the world?
To the Romans, the Mediterranean was the center of the universe. Britain was a remote, unfriendly place, inhabited by blue-painted savages.
It hasn't changed much.
They've stopped painting themselves blue.
Except when they go to a football match.
They used an extract from a plant called woad, Isetis tinctoria. The Scots were using it until fairly recently in their wars with the English.
Fairly recently? I don't recall the Scots being at war with the English. How recently are you talking about?
I believe William Wallace's men used it in the 13th century. They might well have been using it as late as...
You can't remember, can you?
1314.
Ah, we're back onto that, are we?
André, what is it? What do you mean?
1314 in Scotland. The Battle of Benneckburn.
That would explain the stream on the chessboard. That's what a burn is. Right, André? As in Benneckburn?
Right, George. And it gets better. Tradition has it that the Scots were helped by a shock force of, well, can't you guess?
Knights Templar?
Yes, a group of outlawed Templars. They are said to have turned the tide for the Scots.
And it all ends at a church in the Isle of Britain at Benneckburn in a church.
What are we waiting for? I'll call a cab.
I can't go.
André, you've been loads of help, but...
What George is trying to say is that you shouldn't feel guilty.
I was?
We understand you've got commitments. Oh, listen, we have to hurry. Let's go, George.
We'll see it through. Oh, and, don't worry about us.
Bien, estamos en la recta final, el último tramo del juego. Prepárense y gracias a Bianli por esas compartiditas y a todos los que están aquí. Disfruten el cierre porque la verdad es un clímax bastante interesante. Vámonos pues a Benneckburn, Inglaterra.
Oh, it must be dawn.
Oh, I guess so. And we must be nearly there. Somewhere, out there in the dark, is Scotland. We've come a long way together to get here.
Yeah. Let's hope it was worth it.
There's something I've been meaning to say to you, Nico.
Is this the right time and place, George?
There might not be another time. I don't want to waste this chance.
You don't need to say anything. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. But here, with you. Now.
You're exhausted. Why don't you get some sleep?
Sleep? At a time like this?
Excited, huh?
Would you like something to help you sleep, dearie? I've got some tablets in my bag.
Oh, no. Thank you.
Thanks all the same, ma'am. I've still got the clown's nose.
So I see. You should throw it away, George.
Pardon me?
Yes, my dear.
Do you know what time we're due in Sterling?
6:15, but we're running 8 minutes late.
What's the book you're reading?
Oh, it's something I picked up at the station. A medieval detective story. Quite well written for that kind of thing. It's been out of print for years.
What's the title of the book?
The Crooked Crusader Caper by Molay Pegram. I assumed the author was a woman, but apparently not. His real name is...
Professor Nigel Pegram.
That's right. Do you know him?
No, I never met him.
George is a great fan of his, though.
Do you know Sterling well?
Yes, I do. Is that where you two lovebirds abound?
Yeah,
It's one of the places we thought we'd stay on our holiday.
Be sure to visit the castle, won't you?
Oh, I'm sure it's a neat place. But we are not really interested in history, are we, George?
No.
I suppose espresso bars and boogie-woogie are more your cup of tea.
That's right. There's nothing George enjoys more than a good boogie.
Is there a church called St. Ninian's at Sterling?
Yes, there is. And I know why you're going there.
You do?
Of course I do. It's obvious you're in love. You're eloping, and they say romance is dead.
Where are you going, George?
Do I need to spell it out?
Don't snap at me. If you're going to take a leak, why don't you say so?
Okay, I'm going to take a leak. L-E-A-K.
Tickets, please.
Oh, hi.
That's a standard full-price peak return. Don't you have a senior citizen's rail card?
I rarely travel by train. My ticket is perfectly valid, is it not?
Well, yeah, but you could have saved up to a third of the cost.
I do not need to indulge in puffling thriftiness.
Blimey, you're a funny old bird and no mistake. Tickets, please, sir.
Here.
Off to Sterling, eh?
Yes, we are.
Well, I hope you won't be disappointed. It's a miserable place this time of year. Still, there's plenty of pubs and a lovely view from the castle.
Thank you.
I don't want to worry you, but there was something familiar about that guy.
Are you sure? You're tired. Perhaps you're mistaken.
Maybe. But I didn't like the look in his eyes when he spoke to you.
Can't you sit still, George?
I need to go to the John.
While you're there, check out the buffet car, George. Unthinkable though it is, I am hungry enough to eat English food.
Okay. Buster. This is a no-smoking car. Okay, it's I suddenly realized who it was. Lucky I should have known better than to leave Nico and the old lady alone. Suddenly, the sword of Baphomet took second place to finding the girl I loved.
Dicen por acá, ay no, la comedia inglesa, eso sí es tener hambre. Dicen acá en Clantopi, no sé a qué te refieres exactamente, Sando. Preguntan, ¿te voy a volver? ¿Sí? Sí, vamos a regresar más al rato. Todo está preparado para una pequeña veladita, corta pero divertida. Mientras disfruten la recta final del juego, porque se va a poner muy buena. Y si no me creen, ven a estos dos chamacos que les va a recordar que estamos a un día del viernes.
All I could see of the man's face was a massive purple bruise around his eye. It was a strange contrast with his flaming red hair, which stuck out in stiff, greasy tufts. The man's face was blotched and unshaven. I guess he'd been traveling all night. Red-rimmed eyes stared fish-like above his broken nose. Hi! Having a party?
No, this is breakfast. Come on, join us, man. Away, Basha, wake up, man. What's company?
His breath was like the outlet from a chemical factory.
Excuse my mate, he's taking a nap. Sleeping like a bobby. I'll wake him up when we get to Newcastle.
We passed through Newcastle half an hour ago.
And I never noticed.
What is that stuff you're drinking? It smells like gasoline.
Aye, I'll put hairs in your chest, like.
And your eyeballs, too, by the looks of you. Did you see what happened to the young woman in the next compartment?
No, Paul, I didn't. Have you lost her, like?
She's disappeared. The old lady, too. I think they're in trouble.
Away, man, an old lady, too.
Yeah. You gotta help me.
Maybe they went to the toilet, like.
I don't think so.
They never go on their own. Always in pairs, you know.
No, she's been abducted, I'm sure. I've got to go look for her.
What's stopping you, pal?
The conductor. He's not what he seems.
You want to avoid him, like?
That's about it, yeah.
No problem.
Listen, I need your help.
What's the matter?
There's a guy on this train who's trying to kill me.
Relax, man. You wouldn't try nothing with us in Basharia. We are veterans, like. So action at Brightlingsea.
I don't recall the British Army being involved in a conflict at anywhere called Brightlingsea.
Well, you just take it from me, pal. You're in safe hands.
See you later.
Give it to it, pal. Don't jump.
I don't intend to jump. I'm going to climb on top of the train.
You're kidding, aren't you?
Just watch me.
Hold on there, pal. I'll give you a hand, like.
Cuentan, por acá está bebiendo vino templario. No creo. Pero vamos a resolver esto rápido. Estamos a nada de acabar.
was my chance. You saved our lives, but why?
We were always on the same side, Stobbart. Different causes, but a common enemy.
The Knights Templar?
Don't call them that. The real Templars were a noble foe. These barbarians have no right to that name. These men are no better than dogs.
What are the Neo Templars after? What is the Sword of Baphomet?
Not what you think, my friend. It is a weapon, yes, but one which our enemies will find difficult to wield. A double-edged sword. A power older than Molay, older than Solomon.
We'll stop them. You and me together. And Nico.
No, George. My journey ends soon at the Garden of Paradise.
You're talking in riddles. Can't you tell me straight what they're after?
The sword symbolizes a colossal energy caused by the alignment of the Earth's natural power fields,
which are focused at St. Ninian's.
The energy endowed the Templars with the power which made them great, a power which made them charismatic to such an extent they could control the will of all around them.
How did you escape from the bull's head?
It is a long walk from the cliff of the bull to the village, Stobbart. Fortunately, I know the ways of the wilderness. Also, I have a sister who keeps a garage just around the corner. May Allah guide you to our enemies.
Thanks.
One last thing.
What? What is it? He's dead. Nico looked good, even in robes. Nico looked good. Nico looked good. The rear exit was barred and padlocked.
Don't even think about it, George.
What? Who?
Look me straight in the eye and tell me you weren't thinking of using that axe on Eklund.
Don't be foolish, woman. I was gonna use it on you. Nico looked good.
Don't even think...
What?
Look me...
Don't be... I was gonna use... Nico looked good.
Where do you think you're going?
Don't worry. I hadn't forgotten about you.
Answer me this instant, George Stobbart.
I will. When I'm ready. No.
You took advantage while my hands were tied.
Benneckburn pointed that gun at me. I thought I was gonna die. I thought of all the things I'd never get to do. And kissing you was at the top of my list.
George?
Uh-huh.
George, we've got to get off the train. Eklund could recover at any time.
So what are we waiting for? I'd feel happier if we had a gun or something.
Khan gave me something.
What?
His handbag.
Oh, great. If we run into any killers, we can give them a good buffeting. Didn't he have any weapons?
You don't know the half of it. This bag's full of C4.
Wow. Why didn't you say so? Boy, we'll show 'em now. What's C4?
Plastic, George.
We're going to shop our way to victory?
2 kilos of plastic explosive. The detonator's broken now.
No problem. We'll buy a box of matches somewhere.
It doesn't work that way. It takes a small explosion to start the big explosion.
Well, that's not much use then. What does that sign say?
Apparently, during the English Civil War in the mid-17th century, this place was used as an arms dump.
Yeah? What happened?
Look at the state of this place, George. You work it out.
Oh, stray spark?
You got it. The tower was the only thing to survive the blast.
I hope the explosion didn't destroy the Sword of Baphomet.
Do you? I rather hope it did.
A large arch led into the tower.
El último acertijo del juego. Y aquí es donde vamos a terminar la aventura. Es bastante sencillo, que no lo crean.
I scrabbled around in the rubble and found an old clay pipe with a broken stem. Under one of the stones, I found a metal coin which was green with age. It was caked with soil, but what I'd found was a small cog and spindle. With mounting excitement, I felt something between my fingers. It was short, hard, and black. Something I hadn't expected to find here. It was a plastic pen top.
Dicen por acá que buen plot twist. Que le dé la manita. Tal vez, pero pues no es el momento. Ya verán por qué.
The handle turned easily and the larger wheel began to revolve. Damn! Then the handle came off in my hand. Now that the handle was gone, it was easy to remove the cog and spindle. With the clay pipe in his mouth, he looked happy, homely, like somebody's granddaddy.
What do you think you're doing, Josh?
I wondered if there was a secret mechanism in the demon's mouth.
Maybe you should show a little more respect.
For a mythical medieval demon? Give me a break.
Okay, go right ahead. Meddle with forces you don't understand. Incur the demon's wrath and burn in hell. Just see if I care.
I ran my fingers across the cold stone and probed the holes in the demon's eyes. Beneath them, the mouth formed another hole. But I wasn't about to put my finger in there.
Hola Salónica Tapia, ¿cómo está? Bienvenida con el final del juego.
The cog slipped neatly into the eye socket.
Espero que disfrutes el gran cierre, porque ya este es el último
With
cuarto.
a rasp of metal on stone, I eased the second eye into place. I pushed the handle into the demon's mouth. The cogs all meshed. I began to turn.
Aló Gina, benvenuti bambina. Estás llegando al mero clímax del juego, al final. Que lo disfrutes. Bienvenida querida Floriana.
As soon as I saw the flickering torches, I realized the bogus Templars had beaten us to the sword. But where were they now? And why was it so quiet? The powder spilling from the barrels reminded me of pirate stories I'd loved when I was a kid. It was gunpowder. Nico?
Uh-huh.
It looks like the Templars got here first.
We might not be too late. There's still a chance.
I wish I had your optimism.
So do I, George. Sometimes you're so negative. Listen, I can definitely hear chanting.
You're right. I hear it too. What do you suppose they're doing?
It wouldn't surprise me if they were holding some kind of satanic sex ritual.
So, what are we waiting for? Shh! Will you look at that? Baphomet. Labino was right. This place was ancient even to the Templars.
This whole place? This is Baphomet?
Finally, the truth. The Templars had never worshipped this graven image, no more than they'd worship a rainbow. But, like a rainbow, they regarded it as a symbol of a covenant with God, who'd revealed this place to them.
Rosso! Why, the double-dealing treacherous?
On the contrary, Inspector Rosso has been the model of obedience, an important quality in a true Templar. Now be quiet and watch, if you wish to live much longer.
Brothers and sisters, we are gathered here to witness the reforging of the sword that was broken. Here before God's sentinel, Baphomet. Grand Master and Knight of Baphomet, we salute and pledge our obedience to you.
I salute you, gatekeeper of the temple. 7 centuries ago, our greatest weapon, the sword of Baphomet, was lost to us. Now we prepare to reforge it, to wield against new enemies. As the tired millennium dies, and this world looks for new leaders, we shall not fail. We shall lead the people to a new order, wherein all borders will dissolve. All will be united under the red cross of the Templars. George, we have watched your efforts to stop us with respect. But surely you realize that you have been misled by our enemies. Both of us want a better world. Fortunately, no harm has been done. We need determined, resourceful men like you. Join us, George. Join us in true brotherhood.
Yeah. True? Wait. Brothers? What about Marquet? What about Pegram and Klausner? You didn't look on them as brothers, only as failures. 3 men dead, and you don't give a damn.
George, you know that sacrifices are necessary. Every great undertaking.
Join you. I'll see you in hell first.
Oh, George, I had great hopes for you. C'est la guerre. Eklund, kill him.
I swear, I just wanted things to be right.
Take them. Kill them. They will not escape.
Well, well. If it isn't the great detective and his beautiful assistant, it's going to be a pleasure killing the pair of you.
George, what are we going to do?
Come on, Nico. We're leaving.
Fools! You cannot escape us. Guido! Stop.
But master, the father,
That Paulus is from the English Civil War. He saw 300 years old.
I thought it was going to be my last trick of her suit. Or in her handbag, to be exact. A handbag full of plastic explosives.
Maybe, but this stuff is brand new.
You know, you'll never be able to write your story now.
I don't care. I've got what I want.
Huh?
Just tell me one thing, George. Is our life together always going to be this crazy?
Y así es como hemos llegado al final de este juego. Espero les haya gustado el viaje. Broken Sword, la sombra de los templarios. 5 entregas hasta la fecha, pero de momento sigo considerando la primera como la mejor. La 2 es buena, memorable, pero no me gustan tanto los escenarios que toma. El 3 y el 4 para mí no existen porque realmente les dieron en la torre a toda la historia de George Stobbart. Y el 5 retoma muchos de los elementos del 1 y del 2. Está muy salvable. Igual y más adelante lo vuelvo a transmitir el 5 porque lo hice por partes en su momento, cuando apenas estaba empezando el canal y pues nadie le puso mucha atención. Yo tengo la culpa también. Pero bueno, no importa. Ahora que ya tenemos más asgardianos presentes, creo que les va a gustar la historia del 5. No tan buena como este, pero no se preocupen. Para octubre podremos considerar mostrar Grim Fandango, una aventura gráfica con mucho peso, mucho renombre y además, qué mejor fecha que para mostrarlo en los días de las calacas. Entre eso y otros juegos más que igual puedo mostrar del género. De mientras, espero se hayan divertido y no te preocupes, Crowbar y señor Nuclear. Ya sé que llegaron tarde, pero no pasa nada. Tenemos juegos para rato. Se juega de todo aquí, tanto clásicos como modernos, de todo tipo de género. Así que si su mole son las aventuras variadas, en este canal no les va a faltar. Y ya falta poco para que ya empiece a manejar encuestas en Twitter y otras plataformas para que ustedes den su voto de qué les gustaría ver. Y así tengamos ya un poco más de orden. Lo que sí les aviso es que ahorita tengo 3 juegos por cerrar que son de peso. Trials of Mana, que es el remake de Seiken Densetsu 3 de Super Nintendo. El Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword de Switch. Y ya no me acuerdo cuál es el otro juego que anda por ahí pendiente. Pero son 3 importantes que los vamos a cerrar. Pero así ahora sí tener esto a la orden del día. Ah, sí, recordé el Final Fantasy VII Remake, pero ese creo que lo vamos a empezar desde cero en la versión de PlayStation 5. Porque los videos de la versión de PlayStation 4 tardan en cargar el juego. Y en la nueva es instantáneo, para así avanzar más rápido. Habiendo dicho esto, muchísimas gracias por haberme acompañado. Espero se hayan divertido. Y que ojalá estos juegos cuando se los traiga sean de su agrado. Un beso, un abrazo. Gracias por su cariño, su apoyo, inscripciones, comentarios, estrellitas y demás regalos. Les deseo bonita noche. Nos vemos más al rato. Aún no sé bien con qué voy a volver, pero espero verlos un tanto. Hasta la próxima.